Howdy, y'all. I want to give you guys a little bit of a build update. It's been pretty much a week since we started the build. We are level 89, and we are probably around tier 14, tier 15 maps with the build. And it really doesn't show any signs of slowing down as of right now. There have been some changes to the POB, specifically with the addition of our Val Cold Snap, our Val Discipline, and we dumped Frost Shield currently for a cast when damage taken Steel Skin setup to give us a little bit more survivability in some of these harder like projectile maps. We also picked up a Rumi's Concoction. The POB will be fully updated by the time the video is released. And yeah, we've essentially fully switched to CI at this point. We're running a Corrupted Baited Breath with some general ES gear. As much ES as we can get. We are also running our Thread of Hope. We're picking up Heart of Ice, Snowforged, Practical Application. We'll drop this point once we get into our Cluster Jewel. Too much further. We're probably gonna have some. We are running just a general cold dot max energy shield setup for one of our jewel sockets, and it's all pretty self-explanatory from there. We've really highly prioritized increased energy shield and maximum energy shield on our pieces. Even with our Thread of Hope, our defenses, our resistances are looking really solid. We did some flash change ups as well. We are running no mana at this point because we are running Mind Drinker, which will probably change to this right here, maybe for Cluster Jewels. We might end up staying with Mind Drinker because it is super to have, to be quite honest, because this build does struggle a little bit with mana. But we are using a Quicksilver, a Sulfur, a Basalt, which I love, a Rumi's, and my favorite, which is our Bleed Flask, which is our Quartz of Staunch. Quartz, huge, because we are running Elusive. Quartz is just going to help us out with that even, right? So we haven't had too many issues. We do still need to be careful because even with Rumi's, we are running at about 60, 61, 43. 61, 69, 43 for all of our block attack, projectile, and block spell damage. We're not running glancing blows, so we're still running off of a 5-link right now. We're having almost no issues. I mean, I ran with a 4-link all the way up probably until tier 12, to be honest. We also picked up our Rhyme Gaze, which significantly increases the damage of our Cold Snap, right? So it's huge. We're keeping Arcane Surge probably around, I would say, level 8. Mine's a little bit too high. I'll have that updated in the POB. As soon as we cast Arcane Surge, we want that buff, and then we want to just maintain that, especially when we're doing Ultimatum mechanics. Our rings are just kind of one-offs right now. There's nothing super special to even go home about here. We haven't spent a ton of currency into our rings yet. So that's the build right now. Not bad for our second build that we've ever done. And it looks like it's going to take us to Sirius. So right now we're just farming maps. And as everyone else has probably heard, maps are very hard to come by. So we're working on our T12 and T13 right now, trying to gather up our map pool. Anyways, that's the build. POB will be updated. For anyone that wants to use this build, I think it's a pretty safe bet at this point. It's coming out really nice, to be perfectly honest. I've been really happy with the performance. It's definitely not hardcore viable yet. But once we move into hardcore, we'll be changing the build up. But so far, it's pretty safe for core. Thanks for hanging out. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. and I'll give you guys another update soon. Take care of yourselves, all right?